For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
It's February, and we've got a friend by the name of, what's your name again, man?
I don't know. Deb Johnson.
Deb Johnson. Welcome back to the Focus Set. Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
You are a very active person, as we always say. You are the Executive Director of St. Clair County Community Mental Health with 3 offices, one in Marine City, one in Yale, and one in Port Huron.
And another ABA Center for Children with Autism over on Lapeer in Port Huron.
Oh my God. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
I probably did, but I
You probably did.
But February is an active month for your agency.
Every month is active, yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. So,
where are we at? What's happening?
Well, a few different things. I think most people know that it's Heart Health Month.
Yep.
So, and like on February 1st, it was Go Red for Women Day.
Yep.
And so at our agency, staff wore red, and we took red photos, and it was fun. But we also talk about the things that you can do to take care of your heart health. And although it's Go Red for Women, because historically heart disease was underdiagnosed in women.
That's correct.
But men need to listen to all this information too. So this is for men and women. And so some of the things that just basic things that you can watch for is, if you're having heart palpitation, shortness of breath, chest pain, things like that, you need to get checked out. Visit your doctor and have the proper tests. And then some of the things you can do to just in advance try to prevent heart disease are things like exercise. I usually say that last because that's my segue into mental health, but I said it for, okay. So exercise is great on so many levels. Eat healthy. If you smoke, quit. See your doctor regularly. And this seems like not something you would say for like a medical condition, but be appreciative.
Okay, I like
be
that.
thankful for things that you have instead of, because if you're more appreciative and you're concentrating on the good in life, not always everything that's wrong, focusing on that, then hopefully it's less stressful for you. Stress is not good for your heart.
Glass half full, glass half empty.
Right. So let's look at the glass half full, and so things like that will help you, take care of your heart. And I'm not a doctor, so you need to see your doctor if you have any issues. Maintaining a good weight, all those kinds of things are important for good heart health. So the segue to mental health is heart disease can cause anxiety or depression, especially if you're concerned if you've had a heart attack or you have other kinds of heart issues. You would get nervous, like was this going to be the heart attack or whatever. So it can cause anxiety, depression. So some of the things that can help with all those things are lead into our topic of Friendship Month, National Friendship Month.
Nice to see you, friend.
Nice to be here. And so friends can help in so many ways. One of the things that friends can do is maybe you need a workout buddy. We've talked about this, I think we were talking about last month, probably resolutions. You need a workout buddy, a diet buddy, or eat healthy buddy, whatever you want to call it. It's good for that because friends can hold you accountable, like you meeting me or how'd you do today on the plan, things like that. So friends can be very helpful. Sometimes you can make it a friendly competition. That's helpful. But if you're having a bad time, maybe you're going through a divorce, you just lost somebody very close to you, you've received some diagnosis, anything like that, family troubles, whatever, friends can be very supportive and helpful and help you in so many ways. And if you can kind of try to stay positive or addressing your stress, things like that, hopefully those are all things that are good for your heart health as well.
Good.
And the exercise thing, I forgot to say that exercise releases endorphins in your brain, and that makes you feel better. So, so that's another good bonus of exercise.
And having somebody you can talk to, just to hear what your emotions are and what is really important.
Right.
And to listen to somebody else if they got the problem.
And a really important thing that we try to give this message out too. So what happens if your friend just got diagnosed with schizophrenia?
Yeah.
So some people, my answer to that would be, you should continue to be the friend that you've always been, and that should not impact that one way or the other. But what you could do is, if you don't know about schizophrenia, or maybe they got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, take some time to learn about those things. Learn about it. And then continue to ask your friend to participate in things with you, like, whatever you used to do, keep asking.
Don't shun them.
They might, right, don't shun them. They might say no, but people need support for mental health issues every bit as much, maybe more, than some physical issues. And I think I've talked about this before on here, but when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I got tons of support.
Yep,
tons of support from everybody, like so many people in the community, my friends, my family. And I wondered what would happen if I said I got diagnosed with schizophrenia. I don't know that I would have had that same level. And because some people get frightened by that, but you shouldn't. It should not be seen any differently, because you no more choose to have schizophrenia, you don't choose to have breast cancer or any other serious illnesses. So those are things beyond our control. So why would you treat your friend any differently?
That's right.
So anyway, so that's kind of my whatever, my platform, my whatever.
What else is happening in February?
Well, in February, well, it's also Random Acts of Kindness Week occurs in February, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact dates, but you can be kind anytime, right?
You don't have to just do it in February.
That's right, or just that one week.
Right.
But so there's things, just do something nice for somebody, hold the door for somebody, shovel your neighbor's sidewalk or snow blow it, chisel the ice off right now. You can do things like that, or you can, the one a lot of people like to do is pay for the coffee for the person behind.
Yep.
I shared this story on the Paul Miller Show, but somebody bought my coffee, it was about a month ago or so, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice, and all I had was a coffee, and I said, I'll buy the person behind me, and the person at Tim Hortons said,
$15.
well, she said, you might want to hold off on that because they ordered a whole bunch of stuff. And I said, oh, okay, I'll wait. I'll do it a different day. But anyways, but you feel good. You feel good when you do something nice for other people. They feel good.
Yep.
So again, all that, the happiness releases the good things in us and keeps us feeling happier. The other thing that I've been talking about recently is, do, like, as you're walking down the street, say hi to somebody, especially if somebody seems like they're down or whatever, or just be nice. I said open doors, but ask, if somebody doesn't look like they're okay, ask if they're okay. Do you need help?
Yeah, we hear it all the time that people come to our communities, Fort here in the St. Clair County, and they say, God, you guys are so friendly. People are saying hello to me on the street, and I live in New York or I live wherever, and nobody says a word. And I think we are a little more friendly than other locations.
I think so too, because I've been even paying more attention lately, because a lot of times you'll be walking, someone's walking.
Yeah.
And sometimes they look straight down.
Yeah.
But more and more people don't tend to, and I just look and say hi, how you doing, or whatever.
Right.
So so things like that, that's important. And so I just think it's good to be more aware of the people in our community, because there are a lot of people, you have no idea what they're going through in life.
Right.
And your friendly little smile or friendly hello might brighten their day.
Yep, might change the whole thing.
Yeah, and sometimes you have a conversation, you're sitting waiting in the doctor's office for somebody, or you're in the grocery line, or, you strike up a conversation. Yeah. Sometimes it might be the only conversation that person had all day.
That's right.
So think about things like that.
You brought along a flyer here, and I saw a story in the Times Herald yesterday or the day before about the wife of Mara McCollum, the wife of Paul Skinner, who was tragically murdered up in Yale a few years ago. And it's quite a story of trauma to resilience. Talk to me about it. She's coming to speak March the 14th.
She's actually in our community. She actually started a wonderful 501c3 organization. It's called PS You're My Hero. So PS is Paul Skinner.
Okay.
You're my hero.
Yeah.
And so there's a run every year. I've been doing the run, 5K, and she's done some other different fundraisers. But she is working very closely with the Victim Rights Office, which is a part of the prosecutor's office, St. Clair County Prosecutor. Mike Wendling will be presenting at this as well. But Mara is going to tell her story about what happened. Julie Jowett Lee is a social worker from Yale. She also is the owner or founder of Thumb Coast Counseling Services in Port Huron. She is also on the CMH Board of Directors.
Okay.
And she's an amazing woman. She actually did a little precursor talk to this for our Child Abuse and Neglect Council annual breakfast recently. It was amazing. I mean, she did such a great job. So I am looking forward to this whole training. She's been trained to train on the effects and the impact of trauma. And how it all came about is Mara I met her and she said, I want to talk to you about about some things we can maybe do for the community. And I think you could help. And I said, so what would you like to do? And so she said she really wanted to do a community awareness event or community education event that would help people understand the impact of trauma, not only on the victim, but their family and friends and the entire community. Because, you know, Yale is a small community.
Correct.
So that didn't just impact Mara and her family, her close friends, the school, all the kids at school, because the daughter was, you know, went to school.
Yeah, right.
And that the community as a whole. And so she wants to talk about that, and then she wants somebody to teach about it. So Mara is incredibly resilient, but I'm sure she didn't get there overnight.
No.
And going through what she's gone through would be, well, definitely was traumatic and difficult, but she's worked through it, and she's made, you know, a good thing out of it in terms of the nonprofit that she started. And she's helping victims now, because one of the things she told me that she learned is that they seem to have a lot of resources for the perpetrator and not so much for the victim. And so, her organization helps victims of crime through St. Clair County.
November of 2010 when the murder happened. So she's had a struggle for a few years, and now she's happy to help others.
Yep, she's doing a great job, and she really is an amazing woman. She actually is also one of the Blue Water Women of the Year. She'll be being awarded.
With Patty Samar.
Yep, she's one of the winners of that.
Great.
So yeah,
it's March the 14th at the Municipal Office Center, downtown Port Huron, where they hold their city council meetings. Easy, plenty of parking. She can do it twice, 1 to 4, and then 6:30 to 7:30.
6 to 7. And this is a shortened version. The 1 to 4, obviously 3 hours. It's intended more for professionals. Anybody can go, but it's kind of, there will be CEUs for social workers, but you must register for either event in advance.
Oh, okay.
Because seating is limited, and I can tell you that already we have almost 100 people signed up for 1 to 4.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
I'm sure that both of them are going to be completely full. So it's not the kind of event. A lot of our events, there's plenty of extra seating. There probably will not be. And if you really want to go, you must register in advance. People can do that by calling Tammy Lake at CMH, which her direct line is 966-2597. Or if you forget that number, you can just call Community Mental Health, say you want to register for that training, and they'll put you in touch with her.
Okay. Her number again is 966-2597. 966-2597. Mara's story, it's quite a story, March the 14th, 2 sessions.
I should have mentioned too that this event is being kind of co-sponsored by St. Clair County Community Mental Health, St. Clair County Child Abuse and Neglect Council, Thumb Coast Counseling, the Prosecutor's Office, the Victim Rights Office of the Prosecutor's Office, Yale Community Schools. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Yale Public Schools. Yep, that's all of them.
Okay, well, good.
So yeah.
Well, it's a busy month, and you're a busy person, and thank you for all your information. Did we miss
Can I
anything?
give you one save the dater?
You can give me everything.
Thank you. Our Run for Recovery
is
May 11th. It's the second Saturday in May, just as always. There was a little confusion. There's another run that's going to happen in our community. It had the exact same name, but now we brought it to their attention that was the name of our run. It's actually the Blue Water Recovery Outreach Center. It's a new 501c3 in town, and they work with people with substance use disorder. So we're going to call their Run for Recovery. We asked them if they would please not, since that's the name of our run. And they're changing theirs to Strides for Recovery, but theirs is in June, ours is in May. So great causes, all of them.
There's runs every month.
There are runs. In fact, I'm doing the Chili Heart run in a couple days.
Yeah.
So
hope you win.
Right.
Hope you come in first.
I won't.
We'll be back with our next guest in just a minute. Okay.
I just like to finish. So.
Well, welcome back. We are honored today to have a special guest from Columbus Township, right?
Yes.
His name is Jim Domagalski, and ladies and gentlemen, he is the Michigan Farmer of the Year. Welcome to the Focus Set, sir. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you finally. I've known your son for a long, long time at the principal of St. Clair Middle School. And recently you went up to Soaring Eagle in the end of January in Central Michigan there, and received a big award, which is called the Michigan Farmer of the Year, and here it is.
Master Farmer.
Master Farmer.
Master Farmer, yes. Yes, that was last week, and it was colder than blazes up there. And let's go back to when I got the call. It was December,
let's hear about that.
December 4th. That happened to be my mother's birthday. She's passed away a few years ago, but I was just blown away. And I'll admit it, I was in tears when I got the call. I've seen my other peers or other farmers get this thing before, because I've attended the Great Lakes Summit Conference before. There's breakout sessions for farmers. A lot of learning processes there in anything with agriculture.
What kind is everybody in agriculture involved? Corn, soybeans?
As far as
no, for this meeting.
Oh, usually cattle farmers, dairy farmers, crop farmers, mainly crop farmers because it is a crop summit. Mm-hmm. But they have breakout sessions that'll pertain to almost any farmer, anybody in agriculture.
How many people do they get to go?
There was probably over 1,000 people.
Oh my God!
Yes,
that's marvelous.
The hall was pretty full, and the way the temperature was, I was surprised they had that amount of people over there.
We're going to see a little video that they produced, the Michigan Farmer people produced, about you and about the farm in a minute or two. But it just, as you say, to have your peers tell you that you've been doing a good job, that's surprising, isn't it?
It's overwhelming. I never expected this. I am active, and I'm a director on Farm Bureau Board. I got started in the soybean business with the state board. I was asked to put my name in, and I said, well, a small farmer like me, I'll probably never get it. Well, I filled out the application and got a call from the governor's office.
Oh my God.
It's a governor appointment.
Yeah.
And after 8 years I served, and I was chairman of the state board. My daughter got hired on staff, so I had to step down.
Oh.
They need somebody, and with my daughter's background and her education, they hired her. So I stepped down, and they said there was an opening at the national board. And I says, well, yeah, again, I'm a small guy like me, no way, but I'll fill it out. By golly, in 2007, I got on the national board. I got a call from the Secretary of Agriculture in Washington. That's quite an honor.
Yes.
That's quite an honor. It's unbelievable.
So how many times did you have to go to Washington?
I didn't. The board that I sat on is the checkoff board.
Okay.
There's another soybean board which is called the association, and that's political. This is a checkoff. When myself or another farmer sells a load of soybeans, 0.5% of that price, whatever they sold it for, is taken off your check or my check and put into the fund that goes to the state office.
Oh.
And that's in Frankenmuth. And half of what they collect in the state goes to the national board, and that's the one I sit on.
Oh, okay.
And that's all for research and education and things like that, like the soy foam in the Ford motor vehicles.
Yeah.
That started with us, with this United Soybean Board. The soy ink, and the USA Today uses all soy ink, and the Times Herald and here local.
Just amazing.
It's amazing all the things. There's hundreds of things we've done with soy, and still we continue to grow with our proposals and research with the soy oil and meal.
We'll come back to this, but let's take a look at this video now that the Michigan Farmer, it's a magazine, right?
Yes.
Put together before they gave you the award of Michigan Master Farmer of 2019. Let's take a look at that right now.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Jim Domagalski. I live in Columbus Township in St. Clair County, and I farm field crops, row crops, somewhere under 600 acres, and I have my own storage and drying system. My grandfather was born in 1888, and he was 13 years old when he came to this country from Russia, Poland area. And he bought the farm, the main farm down the road in, I think, 1936 or 35. And that was the home farm, and my dad and him milked cows until 1970, 71. When Dad was milking cows, I was doing something with machinery. And although I did do chores, But with that, well, we changed the pasture and hay fields into row crops and grew our corn and soybeans. Didn't start soybeans until sometime in the late 70s, I guess. But I did expand the farm and the acreage and rented some land and built a couple buildings out back and the storage system and the dryer, and that's the way it is today. I met my wife when I applied for a job at Consumers Power way back in 1967. She was the receptionist, and it was like, when I saw her, I said, wow, that was something else, you know. And I leaned against her doorway in her office, and I said, I got my first paycheck. Would you like to help me spend it? She's helped me spend it ever since. I was at Consumers 2 months shy of 40 years. I got offered a buyout in December, and I had to stay till 1st of March to collect that, and I was blessed. When my dad passed away in '87, I lost my main helper. I loved to hear him talk when we were milking cows about his days in the Army Air Corps. He worked on a plane before it took off, and it had a funny name on the side. And I said, what was that? He says, it was the Enola Gay before it took off. He says, I worked on that plane. I said, wow, that's quite an honor. He says, it was just another airplane at the time, but look at the history it made. It ended the war. And he always encouraged me, you know, you should go and learn to fly. And I thought, yeah, I should. I love to fly. And with the United Soybean Board, I fly quite often. And I've been privileged to make some mission trips to Colombia, South America, Mexico, Costa Rica. Our customers love to see the farmers that grow that crop that we're delivering to them.
Being a master farmer is someone who is always willing, always there, always able to step up and to help out in their community on boards such as the soybean or other commodity organizations, and is just very engaged. He has a knowledge beyond certainly just even the agriculture industry, because he was also employed off of the farm for a period of time as well. And just bringing that outside perspective in from the rest of the world to agriculture, that's important as well.
First of all, I said, I don't deserve this. What's it all for? Yes, I've been involved with Farm Bureau and the soy industry, and I'm glad to be so. I enjoy that. Andy Weldon, Ed Cagney, I know all these guys, and they're pretty, I respect them very well. And now I'm supposed to be on that shelf with those guys. It's hard to chew. It's really an honor and a privilege, and I'm really humbled to be a part of that. I must have done something right, or my family done something right.
Truly an honor to meet you and talk to you.
Thank you, Paul.
Farming, is it changing? Are you got good, exciting things going to happen in the future? Or
well,
where are we at?
When I was a kid, it was a lot of hand labor. And today, the technology that's in there today, like my combine, my harvesting machine, it's got a GPS in it. Mainly,
air conditioning?
Well, do you have it in your car? Yes, it does. And it's a healthy aspect. The cab itself is like double filters, and for the air, because the air we breathe when we're out there, we got to stay healthy.
Right.
Yes, it's got air conditioning, it's got a heater, it's got a radio. There's a lot of hours we put in that cab. But the GPS I had installed in that thing is more for record keeping and for fertilizer applications, because when I get done in the fall, I can take that card out, it's like on your camera, and plunk it in my laptop and print out each field, and it'll have a map of each field in different colors, and it'll show me where the better yields are and not so good yields are, and how to fertilize that. And that saves, yes, it costs a little bit for that GPS unit, but it'll save a lot of money in the long run with fertility.
You could not have farmed as many acres probably 25, 30 years ago than you can today with the speed and the amount of bushels of without all these improvements.
Well, yes, my equipment is probably a little bit larger than I need because I'm under 600 acres. And in fact, my combine is probably a little bit bigger than some of these guys. But the window is small in the fall, and so is in the spring.
Yes.
And last fall, we had a tricky fall. It was wet. And when we got the soybeans off in pretty good shape. And there was a couple days I was out in that soybean field, and I said, I probably shouldn't be here, but I don't like the weather it looks in the long term.
Right.
And when we finished that, we got into corn, and we went about 15 acres, and we quit because we were putting ruts in the field like this, and that's not good for the soil. That compaction will ruin it for a couple years. So we quit until it froze sometime before Christmas. We got back on there, got some off. We finished about the 11th of January where the ground was froze just like the top of this table.
Wow.
And that's what I want. I don't want that compaction. I don't want that mud because it just makes more work in the spring and it's rough. But this way we're in good shape.
Is the future good for young people? Should they get out and get interested in farming?
The way the commodity prices are today, it's hard for anybody to get started. Well, almost in any business.
Right.
Everything's expensive. If they can't inherit part of it, they're going to have a rough start. I'm talking 7 figures to get a reasonable, good-sized farm, land, machinery, all this. That's a lot of money.
Those John Deeres look gorgeous, but man,
Boy,
they cost.
So do those payments.
Right, right.
But you know, you want good quality equipment. You got to pay for it.
It's going to last you for a long
And
time.
it's going to last, yes. And you got to take care of it. All my stuff is housed, and it's inside. And I got a heated shop during the winter. In fact, I was in the shop this morning working on some things. And you got to keep things that preventive maintenance means a lot. You don't want to be out there when the sun is shining and you're wrenching on a piece of equipment.
The honor that you had, the Michigan Master Farmer, is only awarded to 2 or 3 guys a year, or farmers.
Yes.
It's just wonderful that you received that.
I still can't believe it. For days I thought I was dreaming because, like I said before, I saw these guys like Ed Cagney, Ken Wadsworth, good-sized farmers, and I respect them a lot. I think it's because of the commitment I made to the soybean industry, Farm Bureau, and I sat on the USEC, which is the United States Soybean Export Council, as a liaison. That was an interesting board, and others that I didn't sit on all these boards at one time. Let's get that one
Right.
But right now I'm on the national board, the USB, United Soybean Board, and which lets me travel a little bit. I've been, like I said on the video, been to Costa Rica, Colombia, South America. These people that buy our products want to talk to the farmers. They want to see us. They want to talk about our families. Oh, what size is your farm, and what kind of weather? What kind of crop do you think you're going to have? They're almost, well, a lot of them are farmers like us, but they're feeding cattle, turkeys, chickens, or hogs, or whatever. And they can relate to an ag person rather than people on staff that are trying to sell our product to them, you know.
Again, I'm honored that you came to see us and tell us about the 2019 Master Farmer, and congratulations to you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
One thing we forgot to talk about was your family. You got you got 8 kids.
Yes, 4 boys, 4 girls. We kept it even.
Kept it even. And the people in the community are very familiar with Mike. Your son Mike was principal of St. Clair Middle.
Yes.
What do some of your other children do?
Well, let's start with the oldest ones. I have a daughter that is a district manager for McDonald's. She started flipping burgers, and she climbed the ladder.
Wonderful.
And she's got 6 or 7 stores that she oversees. Her twin brother, Jason, has a chemical engineering degree. He works for BASF in Louisville, Kentucky. Carl is the next. No, Karen's the next one. She works at the.
It's okay when you got 8 of them. It's okay not to remember
at
everything.
the Macomb County jail there. She she's a secretary for the captains and the sheriff. She's got a pretty good job. And Carl, he works for Johnson Controls, and he's been around the world a little bit with his travels. He was installing security devices for different companies. And then Lucas is next. He works for right local at the welding supply
Okay.
down here in Marysville, and delivers and fills bottles, well, whatever he
Yep.
does over there. But he's got a pretty good job. And then Laura, my next one, she works for the FSA, the Farm Service Agency. That's where farmers, they have to, if you want to be in compliance with the Farm Service Agency or the government agricultural programs, you have to certify your crops, when you planted them, how you did it, whether it was no-till or conventional, and if there's any issues or problems with their prices or something, Uncle Sam can back us up a little bit. But that's her job. And then my youngest is Mary Catherine, or I call her Katie. She works for DMC, Cancer Research
Oh,
in
wonderful.
downtown Detroit.
Wonderful,
And
wonderful.
proud of all of them.
You can be proud of all of them.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Again, thank you so much and congratulations, and we wish you a good crop next year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's about it for this segment. We'll be back in a minute with the next. Well, welcome back. We are honored today to have a bevy of beauties. Oh my God, look at this. We've got Robin Hanrahan down on the end, the board chairman of Kids in Distress here in St. Clair. Joanne Wilton, the president of Women's Life 820, the Archangels. And new to the focus set, Valerie Hodgins, the executive director of the ARC of St. Clair County. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. These guys have been on 100 million times
100 million, huh?
before. Ladies, welcome. You have got an event coming up that we thought was very important, and when Joanne called and said, I'm back in the world of public relations, I said, come on down. The Heart of a Hero, what is it?
The Heart of a Hero was a suggestion of one of our archangels, and what we decided to do was choose people from the community who kind of work behind the scenes, and maybe not, but they don't get the pat on the back they deserve.
Okay.
So we will be recognizing people from various areas.
Okay, that's going to be soon, February the 28th at Wonderful Alexander's from 6 to 8:30. It's hors d'oeuvres and cash bar.
It's going to be heavy hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar. There will be baskets, and there will be a 50-50. And, you know, we just expect a good crowd. And we need sponsorships. And
Okay.
that would be, there are 3 levels, $25, $50, and $100.
Okay. What? How did you decide upon who was going to receive the awards?
Well, I talked to Valerie, and March is the Developmental Disability Awareness Month, and we could get it booked the 28th, so I thought it'd be a nice kickoff for the
Yeah,
ARC.
for the month, right?
The ARC, and Valerie can fill you in on the purpose of the ARC.
Okay.
Not many people know that.
Well, the ARC's been around for a long time, but I think it is important to tell people again what you do and how you do it.
It really has. It has been around since 1955, and it started as a small group of parents with children trying to get them services they need, and it's grown. Since then, about 6 years, it's separated, and many people aren't aware of that.
Right.
There is now the ARC and Community Enterprises, so the macro enterprises and the business part separated. So the ARC is now all advocacy, and we advocate for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We have a child and family person that goes into the schools and advocates
Wonderful.
for kids to help them get the services they need. We have an adult advocate, and she works with adults to get them out in the community, help them find whatever they need, all those complex systems that you need to apply for, Medicaid and things like that. And
What does the person do when they go to the schools?
when she goes into school, she advocates for the children with the IEPs and the behavior plans to get them the extra help, whether that's a person to come into the class, extra time to do things, what they need to succeed in school.
Okay.
And then we have an inclusive recreation program, and that program takes children with disabilities and without and puts them together through play. And then they form friendships and understanding.
It's wonderful work.
It really
Dedicated
is.
work. Difficult work, too.
Yes, but it's fun.
And Robin, your involvement in this?
I am involved through the Women's Life Group. I'm
Yep.
part of the ARC. and they have been instrumental in doing so much for kids in distress.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when I saw they were doing this, I said, let me lend a hand.
I'm here.
Do whatever I can to help you. So.
And you are that type of person.
Yes.
You do get involved.
Yes.
The public can help besides just coming to the event. How else can they help you guys?
Well, they can buy sponsorship, buy tickets. Tickets are available at the Arc. And I wanted to release the names to encourage people to buy tickets because they'll want to come see their friends and their family.
And celebrate their
And
award.
so as I had mentioned earlier, we're recognizing people from various areas.
Right.
And Tim Donlin is our law enforcement man.
Yep.
And
Wonderful man.
Yes, and Dan Lane is our decorated veteran.
Oh my God.
And Tom Seppo is
Yep.
Operation Transformation. Bill Sheeman, who is the lawyer and the guardian, that works closely with the ARC. And we have probably the last parents, they're very elderly. They didn't want to be recognized, but they should be because they devoted their lives to the ARC and building the ARC building there on 26th Street. And so they will be honored. They won't be there, but they'll be honored in absentia, and we have photos of them so people will recognize them, but they should be recognized. It was so hard when they started out because they are the parents who brought their children home from the institutions.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so it's quite remarkable.
Should we have a drum roll before you
For
read
their
the
names?
I guess. And then our next one is...
Their name is?
You didn't give us the name.
I'm sorry, Gunter and Erna Wallish.
Okay.
Those are the elderly parents. And then our next person is Tyrone Burrell of Sons.
Oh, wonderful guy.
He does a great thing for the kids. And then Ken Cummings, first responder. Yep. I've known him since he was a young boy. And then
that was about 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then Mark Harrington is the Birchville fire chief.
Okay.
He's third generation, so it's going to be quite interesting with his story. And then Margie Starkey, we found her on Facebook. She's the yarn lady, and she has made she's crocheted hundreds of hats for children and adults and donates them to, I just brought a big bag to Kids in Distress and then to the Safe Horizons, and she ships them out of state too.
Wow, what a lineup.
It is. Their stories are very fascinating. I really can't wait.
Yeah. So are each one of them going to have to get up and give a little speech?
No, I promised them they would because they were freaking out on me.
You're going to talk about them, though.
I will not. I'm glad you mentioned that. Our MC is Ernest Worth Towson, who is the executive
Habitat
director.
for Humanity.
Habitat, yes.
Dynamic guy. He'll be a great MC.
He will be. And so he will be doing that. I will start it out. Valerie will give just a short overview of the ARC, and then I will introduce Ernest.
Okay.
And we've got a crew of the Archangles who are going to be helping people get settled and just working the room for everybody and helping them.
Okay, well, it's a fun evening. Hors d'oeuvres and cash bar honoring community heroes, Thursday, February 28th, just around the corner. Where do I get tickets?
The ARC of St. Clair County. Many people get confused where we're at. We're at 1530 Pine Grove.
Okay.
Directly across the street from Chicken in the Rough, the old Real Estate Masters building. Tickets are $30.
And the telephone number is pretty easy, 989-9144. That's 989-9144 for questions or to buy tickets. Right.
I have tickets here in St. Clair, so if I can rendezvous with somebody, they can come to the office, or I'll bring it to them.
And if they know an Archangel, they all have tickets.
Let's talk about Archangels. The chapter 820. How do I become a member? Do you have too many members? You want to give them to somebody else?
No, we have approximately 65 members.
That's pretty good.
We picked up 4 last night at the annual meeting. But we started, this is our 10th year. And in the 10th year, we've raised $141,000.
$141,000?
It's stayed in the community, helping the people in the community. We're really proud of that because out of the generosity of Women's Life Chapter, they've helped us reach that goal. And it's a lot of work, but we have fun all the way. So, and it was started actually to raise money for the ARC.
Right.
And then when they created Community Enterprise, we incorporated them. And as time went by, our other Archangels had other interests, and that's how we incorporated Kids in Distress.
What's the tie-in with Women's Life?
Well, Woman's Life, as you know, is a fraternal
Right.
organization, and then they have chapters.
Okay.
And there are plenty in Port Huron. And last night, I think we were representative of 29 different chapters from Canton all the way up into the Thumb.
Wow.
You know, there were 250 women there.
Wonderful.
It was wonderful.
This particular group of women caught my eye because I told her when I first met these women, they'd go in, they're so stealth. They're stealth. They don't brag. They just get the work done.
Get the job done.
They do. They're in and out, and it's like, whoa. I mean, it's just an amazing group of women. And I'm, just so proud to be a part of it. It's
Right.
amazing.
You just feel like you're in the military.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Just quiet, you know.
Well, I didn't.
Get the job
I
done.
didn't forget my role, so I just run it that way. No.
All right, so it's Thursday, February 28th at the Alexander's Banquet Hall, 6 to 8:30, hors d'oeuvres, cash bar, and we're going to celebrate lots of wonderful people.
Yes.
Robin Hanrahan.
Thank you, Paul.
Always a
Thanks,
pleasure.
Paul. It's always
Joanne, good seeing you. Very nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.